Before I begin the video, I will remind you to please click like if you like my content, and subscribe to our channel, tell a friend, and more importantly, go to our website and send us your email address to become a VIP, that we can send you announcements and VIP benefits that we'll think of as we go along. So thank you very much, and let's go on. Hi, I'm Miltonchang of Bonsai Heirloom. Today I will do the first free lessons called Mastering Bonsai for Beginners. By the time we are through with the series of video, you would essentially know as much about bonsai as any masters that you can encounter. What we will do is that each one of the sessions on YouTube, and then we'll post it on our website and then refine it over time. And for those of you consider yourself to be the expert bonsai artist, please critique me, help me improve the video so that the newcomers can learn better of what they're supposed to learn. You know, the goal of Bonsai Heirloom is to make bonsai really popular, a really popular hobby. I really don't see why it couldn't be as popular as houseplants, because the caring is the same, and yet it's more beautiful and gains beauty in time. So together, let's make Bonsai Heirloom the pioneer to promote bonsai to become a popular hobby. The first video I would do is that how to make your first bonsai, or how to acquire your bonsai without costing an arm and a leg, or essentially cost you nothing. So to start with, I would say you can begin by buying a sapling. In this case, it's a Chinese lace bark elm. And so what you can do is that you can find them in various sizes. And in the earlier video, I talk about buying starting from a cutting, especially elm can grow from cutting very easily. So many trees like elms can start from a cutting. Starting an elm tree is so easy, you really don't want to spend time growing it from a seed. And so this would be an example of a cutting, and you can see it's a little sapling. It doesn't cost you much to buy, or it doesn't take you but a year or so to grow it from a cutting, and that's your tree. So what you can do is that you take this tree and you cut it. You can say, I want the tree to be about this high, right? And then branching from the side. There you are. That's your little bonsai. And if you take a tray, a leftover tray, and you put it in there, that's your little bonsai to start a bonsai. And I tell you a little trick. Why bonsais always die on people? People are so afraid of bonsai. And the reason is really simple. And once you understand it, a tree will never die on your hand. And the reason why is that the bonsai pots are typically very shallow. And so in a hot summer day, you water every day. In a hot summer day, the root ball gets dried out. Then you say, oh, I better hurry up and water it. You water it, it drains right out of the bottom. It never gets the water, the root ball. So you think you're watering, but your tree is really dried out. So what we do is that we came up with an invention that we apply for a patent. Is that what we do is that we cut one hole here in our bonsai pot instead of the bottom. We also have a version that has a hole in the bottom. And when you water it, water will be kept up to this level, right? And the water will be sucked up by osmosis by the root ball to keep the root ball moist. So the water will be retained here for, let's say, a couple, 3 hours or half a day. And so you don't have to worry about drowning the tree. Air will get sucked in by the void that's created by osmosis. And the tree gets the moisture, and everybody's happy. And then one other little silly innovation we added is we added a pot, another hole up on top. So, and then we provide a plug to plug these holes. So normally you leave the bottom, these holes open, and water remain there to keep the root ball moist. Remember, the bottom is filled with a lot of soil, so it's really not much water that's retained. So in a few hours, it gets sucked up by the soil. And when you go on vacation, you plug up this hole, so the water will fill to the next level. It would keep the soil moist for a week. But if you plug up both holes, you can go away for a couple of weeks. You don't have to worry about your bonsai drying out. And that's the only reason why trees are dead. So I think we solved the fundamental problem why bonsai is hard to keep. And with that, we'll popularize bonsai. Please help us popularize bonsai. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video so far. We got a lot more going on. This is about halfway. Please click like if you like my content, and subscribe to our channel, tell a friend. And more importantly, go to our website and sign up to become a VIP for goodies. So again, I have in 5 minutes created a bonsai, a shohin bonsai. And this tree does not look like much now. But what you do is you let it grow in this pot and maybe move it to the next size pot. You let it grow and you clip it every 6 months or so, so the ramification will start to increase. And over time, this will look like a magnificent tree, honestly. In 3 years, a shohin bonsai will look really nice just by clipping and a little bit of wiring. Now, this is a second example. A tree that started like this is about 3 to 5 years later. You can see the tree to shape and it beginning to fill up. And so what I do is I just clip it real quickly. So making bonsai doesn't have to be time consuming. Some people will spend half a day wiring their tree and wind up girding the tree and creates all kinds of problems in maintenance. But I'm very careless. You know, I want it to be a hobby, to be an enjoyable hobby, not to get stressed out about it, worry about all the rules. So you see, I just do a quick clipping. It doesn't look great, but it looks better. And then the tree will kind of heal itself. Whatever I left it with, the tree will do its own thing naturally to shape it, to carry it to the next level. So, you know, that's a 5-minute clipping. Not very good, but I can do a little bit finer clipping to refine it a little bit. And what happens is that the leaves will grow and it will be way too dense to your liking, but it will grow quite nice, a big lump. And then you do a clipping again, and then winter time comes, most of the leaf will be dropped out, and then you do the fine clipping, get rid of any redundant branch. In the meantime, the redundant branches are there to thicken the trunk. So you kind of have your cake and eat it too. It increases the strength of the tree, grow faster, and you have a better looking tree to work on during the winter months when there's no more leaves, so that you can see where you're going with the clipping. And so that's how you create bonsai. Now, the third example is that you take a tree like this, instead of muck with it, you plant it in the ground, let it grow tall. Like this tree is in the ground for about 8 years from a little sapling, and then I just chop it right here. You see the stump? I cut it. I didn't worry about healing it or all that, because you can see this was maybe 3 years ago. You can see this is starting to heal over. And if I take a chisel, empty out this, the cambium layer will fall over to look really nice. And eventually the branches thicken, you will not see the cut. So I'm really saying an alternative is to put your tree in the ground, let it grow, shape it like what I did here, and then put it in a bonsai pot. And that's what you got. These will be the trees that will offer 2 or 3 years from now. these are the bigger trees. You can see they are magnificent gifts for an occasion. You know, like somebody has a wedding, you get this, that's their heirloom. You know, they will remember you forever. Now, on the other hand, as a hobbyist, we have these trees for sale now. It's well implemented. There's no roots curling around. You can see the roots all spread out. If there's a little curl roots, we cut it off, but in the meantime, we leave it for thickening the tree. But you see, everything is well positioned. And then we use the right soil mix that retains the water so that the tree will not easily dry out. And I talk about the patent applied feature to keep the soil moist, the root ball moist, so that you don't have to worry about killing the tree. And finally, you can see the moss spores are starting to come out. After you get it, when you water it moist for a couple months, this will be green like a lawn. It's really beautiful. That's what bonsai should be. I think it's really, you know, I guess to each his own, to fill it with pebbles all around to cover up the top of the soil. It should really be a lawn, you know? Well, anyway, those are the bonsai we will be offering for sale. But anyway, I really enjoyed showing you a quick way to make bonsai to get you started. So I'm passionate about bonsai. I hope you will join us in this wonderful journey to enjoy bonsai. It's a very relaxing hobby, almost like meditation, good for your mental state. So please stay tuned, and I hope to see you next week. Well, thank you very much for watching today's video. Subscribe to our channel and tell a friend. And most importantly, go to our website and sign up to become our VIP so that we can send you announcements of special considerations. Thank you very much. See you next week.